My name is Laura Cantor. I'm the Director of Policy Advocacy and Youth Services at the Orange County LGBT Center. We're located in Santa Ana. And I'm also working with Santa Ana Building Healthy Communities and working to help create a healthier, safer Santa Ana. Specifically, we work in the schools, but we do a lot of work in the broader Santa Ana with the youth and the residents.
What makes you feel safe in your neighborhood?
So I work in Santa Ana. I don't live in Santa Ana. And what makes me, I think I have a different relationship with this community and with the law enforcement here. I think one of the things that makes me feel safe is that this is a community that if the police are targeting people, they're probably targeting people of color, and I'm white. And I have grown up with a different understanding of who the police are in my life. I didn't grow up with the police being threatening or targeting me in any way, and so I don't have that perception. So oddly, it's a strange sense of safety that's based on my privilege that I experience. So that's what makes me feel safe. I think is that I have white privilege, and unfortunately, that's the case here.
What makes you feel unsafe in your neighborhood?
I generally don't feel unsafe. As I said, I don't live here. I only work in Santa Ana, although I am moving here in 30 days. So, and it is something that we thought about when we decided to move to Santa Ana. I think what makes me feel unsafe is a general sense that I think that the community there's a reputation that has been, I think, sensationalized a lot about the crime and about how bad things are, and you don't hear often enough about all of the other good things about this community. I think that can tend to make a person feel unsafe. And I think that what makes me feel unsafe is that as a person working in Santa Ana, there have been times where I have reached out for support from law enforcement and it has not come. I think that law enforcement responds to the community in a certain way, and I don't feel as protected as I might by them in another place. I also feel unsafe at times because I see how much pressure our police force, our police officers, our law enforcement officers are under. I feel like they're under a lot of pressure and that they can be easily agitated because of all of the pressure that's going on in this community and around the country related to law enforcement.
How do you feel about police officers in Santa Ana?
Because of my work there, I've had the opportunity to meet some really, really good guys who are part of the police department. I have had the opportunity to work with people who are trying to make things better. I have also encountered some officers who I think are really insensitive and who need a lot of training, who don't have the cultural sensitivity, don't have the awareness that they need to actually be effective peace officers in this community. I have had mixed experiences. Again, I think that's partly because of my own privilege and because of where I stand in the community, that I have different relationships. But because of that, I also get to see some of the good and some of the officers who are actually trying to change things and make things better.
How do you think safety can be improved in Santa Ana?
I think we need to have dialogues. need to have dialogues with law enforcement leadership. We need to sit down and talk with them. We need to create spaces that are safe to have these discussions. I think that our law enforcement need tremendous training related to cultural sensitivity, cultural competency, for them to understand the communities that they work in. I think that the community members, and I can say this for the LGBT community, need to have the opportunity to speak and to be heard and not to be criminalized and punished. I think law enforcement officers want to fix things and have a hard time just being able to hear complaints and problems and issues. I think that needs to change. I think dialogue is really, really important. I think that's one of the biggest things. I think there are also a lot of programs that are here that criminalize young people, criminalize immigrants, criminalize people of color. I think those need to be changed. I think we need to look at having restorative practices in our police departments and understand that people need support and help, and that oftentimes the police response becomes part of the problem instead of part of the solution.